From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a major afternoon of Afternoons LA, going to a weekend with huge news about your economy, your recession, and your stimulus checks. And in today's recording, we go over the breaking news as market analysts are predicting a bottom, but not just yet. All the latest details across the board. The mindset is gloomy for stocks, says Adam Crisafulli, and I'll have his comments today as the market's trying to end an up week after a big rally on Monday and Tuesday. Will they get it? I'll have the latest details in today's recording. Stocks have not yet bottomed, one analyst says. I'll explain to you why and why a recession's underway. Number three, we have the 10-year note, the 2-year note, and the 30-year bond surging to the highest levels we've seen in a decade. And all this means you need to get that fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. In today's recording, we go over these massive stimulus. Congratulations, nearly $300,000 viewers are getting per viewer 300 checks. FSC, federal stimulus checks from the federal government, the President of the United States. And we'll go over how you can get them in the big second half, stay in the big second half. Then we have those inflation relief stimulus checks, automatic direct deposit. They're incredible. They're coming up in the big second half of ISCs. Next up, lifetime stimulus checks, because when your benefits go up, they never go up, down. They're going up, you know that, 8.7%. You heard the breaking news on this channel 2 weeks ago. But did you know the other 3 or 4 great news that goes on top of that? Yes, I have that for you today. Plus, we'll go over why you want to get this incredible stimulus because of the way the economy is dealing right this moment. The Dow's up about 200 points, the Nasdaq up about 100 points right today. Recession, American Express, Verizon, Snap reported corporate earnings minutes ago. Jump in the live chat. Do you think American Express was a beat or a miss in its third quarter earnings? American Express, beat, miss, your state, and I'll see if you got it right in the big second half. And if you want to go for the double whammy, I'll ask the same question for Verizon. Verizon, the telecom communication company, beat or miss, while the latest details across the board. Under Armour and Whirlpool reported corporate earnings, and they were not good. That was third quarter. I'll have the latest details on that, them in this big recording. But become a member, because in this recording we have massive stimulus for you. We're going to show you how you can get stimulus like other viewers have had. $15 million gotten by viewers on the channel. All the breaking news, all the incredible money starts right here, right now, as Afternoons LA goes into a big show for October 21, 2022. And good afternoon, everybody. We have a big show today, massive stimulus, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. But you're likely to get more money than the cost of living. Why is that? The breaking news on this front, the raise of your benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and rural benefits in the big second half. Plus the latest details on this economy, your recession, your inflation, your benefit raise, and of course, your housing market, the unemployment situation as well, and your fourth stimulus. All the breaking news starts right here, right now, as LA Afternoons gets underway. How are you? How are you doing? We're just days away from Halloween, which is sort of every day in the senator's office in Kentucky. But I hope you're doing really well. Did you get your costume ready? Did you get your costume ready for Halloween? Well, watch Holidays LA, because I'll give you costume ideas. It's just looking, towards Mitch, and then you're satisfied. Well, the latest details on that at 11 a.m. today. But let's go right into the breaking news. The breaking news is that market analysts are finally starting to agree upon this market. After months in which one would go one way and another would go the other way, most people now agree the same directional for this market. Number one, the economy is in a recession. The economy has inflation. The situation is going to get worse for this economy next year. A series of reports minutes ago signal exactly what I reported first in any landscape of American broadcasting. I was the first earlier this year that the U.S. economy would suffer recession in 2024. Guess who said that today? Elon Musk. He said the U.S. economy will have that recession into 2024, revealing exactly what I said. As to this year and the next 60 days, they're all coming around saying the same thing I said as well now. You're going to see a rally, meaning up, bear market rally, bear mean down, but rally because as you go down, you sometimes go up, between now and late December. We call this the Santa Claus rally. Not because Santa Claus rallies, but because he drives a sleigh. Yeah, the Santa Claus rally. It sounds like he's in that, the rally with the cars in the desert. Yeah, a sleigh does not go in the desert, but the Santa Claus rally is always in December, and you usually don't have a Santa Claus rally in a bear market. At least we haven't had one in decades, but that's happening right now. Let's jump into the latest breaking news. The mindset is quite gloomy for stocks pretty much everywhere. The culprit behind the negative earnings is disappointments around the world, says Adam Crisafulli of Virtual Knowledge. I agree. Facebook, now Meta, is down 4% in pre-market trading. Alphabet, the parent of YouTube, is down 2% in pre-market trading as well. Jamie Cox of Harris Financial says, the market is sort of like a knee-jerk reaction daily. It is. It's very, you walk in and it's down 400 points. You walk out and it's up 600 points. It's very knee-jerk. Markets are now looking for every sign that inflation data is moving in such a way that the Fed can reduce its pace of interest rate spikes and basically ignore the speakers of the governors. I love that quote. The quote is, the markets are looking for a reason to ignore what Jay Powell says. And they can't. How long have we been talking about this on this channel, that Wall Street was ignoring what Jay Powell's coming out of his mouth when all the Fed governors are coming out of their mouth? And you and I have been laughing about, how are they ignoring what the Fed governors are saying? Now Wall Street analysts are saying, the rest of you who are ignoring what what the Federal Reserve is saying, you're ridiculous. How long will it be till they continue to ignore the speakers and federal governors, basically ignoring everything the Federal Reserve is to say? I love that. I guess they're watching this channel as well. You can't ignore the Federal Reserve because they give you guidance on where we're going. The bottom of the market is not here. I've been telling you that for a while. We have a long way down for this recession. We going into 2024 for this recession, not 2023. Stocks probably haven't bottomed yet. Of course not. They're going to go down another 24% to 30% is my projection. UBS's analysis today says, historically, markets don't find a bottom until they can find the Federal Reserve rate cuts activity on the horizon is about to end. None of the conditions are in place. So, again, it's going back to the Federal Reserve. You don't stop falling down off the financial cliff until you realize the Federal Reserve has stopped doing what they're doing or has told you they're going to stop what they're doing. Again, let's go back to the Federal Reserve. They said they're not going to stop this until 2024. So, get a parachute. Get a parachute out of some lobster shorts because we'll be falling down for 2 more years. Before the commercial break, I asked you some of your predictions on some stocks. Let's see if you got it right. Miss or beat on their third quarter earnings. The Dow has had the market has had a fascinating week because it rallied really well on Monday and Tuesday, but then fell apart later in the week. The 10-year note up, the 2-year note up, and the 30-year bond up. Now, I always teach you bonds up, stocks down. Is that the case right today? Yes. So let's see if you got it right. Let's jump in the live chat right now. Get ready with those fingers. If you did not answer the questions before, you still got time. Let's see how well you are doing. I bet you're doing really well on this. American Express reported third quarter earnings. You know American Express, the credit card company. So did American Express beat or miss? Let's sort of think about this. So I've been teaching you about the banks the last week, and we had a lot of companies on the banks beat. I think we had all the banks beat except one. So we had Citibank and Wells Fargo beat. We had and we had a third beat as well. So do you think American Express beat? Write American Express, comma, beat or miss, comma, the state you're in, and here is the answer. American Express beat. You got it right. American Express topped quarterly profits for the third quarter. Verizon, I asked you before the commercial break, beat or miss. So Verizon is a little bit more complicated. This is telecommunications. There's a lot of telecom, cell phones or internet or cable operators. If you get this one, you'll probably get the rest of the telecom is right. That Verizon was a beat. Verizon was a beat. So were the rest of the telecom companies beats as well? They generally were. Okay, here's a hard one. I think I'm giving it away to you. Hotel. Okay, you've learned from this channel. Travel and leisure, up third quarter, up fourth quarter. They're doing really well. So I'm going to give you a hotel, Intercontinental Hotels, a great operator, and that's the parent company of Holiday Inn. Beat or miss? Miss. Yeah, that's a surprise. Holiday Inn was a miss, falling 4.2% in pre-market trading. There we go. But it's not based, excuse me, I misstated that. It's not a miss on earnings. It's a fall in the stock based upon corporate news. So that's a little bit of a misnomer. Whirlpool. Okay, so now we go into consumer staples. Whirlpool, Under Armour, which is sporting goods. How do you see this? Down or up? I mean, you could think that there's inflation, so there's less demand to buy a washer dryer. There's less demand to buy sporting goods, or maybe you think that people are still going out and about. Yeah, jump in the live chat. Whirlpool up or swirling downward? Whirlpool swirling downward. If you said Whirlpool missed, you got it right. Whirlpool missed 4.4 in pre-market trading, and Under Armour was all under the arm. It was missing 3% as well. So you're getting this really well. Now, here is one of the most fascinating, and I'm not going to take credit for this one. This is from Jim Cramer. Fascinating group of companies to look at in one broadcast. Union Pacific Railroads, JB Hunt, this is all shipping, this is all supply chain people, and Knight Swift, which is transportation as well. You would think that transportation supply chain operators would basically report all the same. So jump in the live chat right now. This is one of the most fascinating analysis data of the day. Do you believe the supply chain disruption companies, the shippers, the truck drivers, beat or miss in third quarter? Because we know supply chain disruption still there. Are they making more money? Are they making less money? Missing. JB Hunt missed. Knight Swift miss. Union Pacific miss. Oh, wait a second. So what does that mean? It means that the impact of the Federal Reserve, I give this credit to Jim Cramer for this because it's great analysis, the impact of the Federal Reserve on 3 supply chain disruption companies has negatively impacted their earnings. So you're not shipping as much as they thought you would because you're not going to be able to, or at least not you, the wholesaler, because the cost is too high. Wow. It's a big show. I told you this is a fascinating show today. I love this show. It's really, and you are doing so great. Congratulations to the viewers who got that American Express answer right. And if you got the Under Armour or the hotel answer right, wow, you're really good. You're really good. You are really good. Bow to the person who got all those answers right. This is why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state, because this economy is very confusing. I mean, who would know that the supply chain disruption companies are disrupting but losing their shirt? Well, not losing their shirt, but not particularly doing well. And that is why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Let's look at those incredible checks right now. These start with the federal stimulus checks, FSCs. The first 3 passed by the President of the United States in the month of March. $100,000. Incredible. We call these checks A, B, and C. Federal government, you apply for, they have the money, and they send out the money. It's incredible. They did the first 3 checks, or at least the president, A, B, and C in the month of March. Then came along Congress, passed other checks, E through K, bringing in us, the Purple Power community on this channel, to nearly hundreds of checks. Then I found you other checks, L and M, N and O, P and Q. Just incredible. And these incredible FSC checks, where do you get them? Step 1, you go on this channel, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. And then you go down to the membership newsletter to each of these incredible checks. Those are the first group of checks. Then come inflation relief stimulus checks, ISCs. Those ISCs, inflation relief stimulus checks, are from your states. We're going to go over those in the big second half. Then we have the lifetime raise of your benefits. But did you know there's 4 great news stories behind those lifetime raise of your benefits? That's coming up in the big second half. What are you watching? You're watching LALATE, the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, with 3 broadcasting channels, LA1, LA2, and LA3. Launched in March of 2020, and now we're captivating the country. The number 3 most watched, and the most in getting people money. $50 million has been gotten by the viewers of this channel I call the Purple Power community. If you've not become a member, become one today. Join the nearly 100 members that are joining this channel every 48 hours. Then get that membership newsletter delivered from me to you, and you go down and get those incredible checks. How do you do it? It's coming up in the big second half. I go through every check. I go through the newsletter. I go through how you do this in the big second half. But let's go back to the breaking news, and there's a lot of it. You know, it's reassuring that everything you and I have learned on this channel is now coming around, because we always wondered, why was Wall Street so out to left field? In the summer, Wall Street said the Federal Reserve is going to stop raising rates, and that bet against the Federal Reserve, ignore what the Federal Reserve is saying. We said, that's crazy that they're saying that. Now they're all stopping saying that, and the people that are joining our camp are saying to Wall Street, stop saying that as well. Second, we all understood back in the summer that the market had not reached a bottom, and that people who were telling you buy, buy, buy were losing. We also understood the housing market is going to get worse. Yesterday, we had more housing data, and that housing data will come up later in this recording. Plus, we understood our benefits were going to go up, because as inflation goes up, so does your benefits. So this is all coming around today, and it just doesn't feel good for you? I mean, I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful that you and I as a community predicted this, analyzed it, and understood all this months ahead of time. Months ahead of time, you and I, before those fancy people in skyscrapers on Wall Street now understand it right before Halloween. We understood this months ago. And now they realize, oh, that purple power, they were right. They were right. And it just feels it feels good that you and I understood it. Not so much that it told you so, but that we understood it, and that we were looking at the data correctly and preparing our families and our households accordingly. Now, let's look at that bond information, because this is very fascinating. So the 10-year bond higher, the 2-year bond higher, and the 30-year Treasury bond higher. The 30-year fixed mortgage rate, I had predicted was going to go from 3 to 6%. It did. And then I predicted it was going to go from 6 to 7%. I'm going to look at my notes for Evenings LA today, but I thought I heard during lunch yesterday that it almost was at 7%. I mean, it's just shocking. I had predicted that happening before December. Here is the 2-year note, the 2-year bond. I had predicted that to go to 5% by December. Here we are. It was 4.4 early this week, then 4.5 by the middle of this week. It's already 4.639, which is basically 4.7 right now. And again, I said this is 5% by the end of this week. Yield curve inversion. I love that you know what this is. What is yield curve inversion? If you put money in the banker will say, do you want to put the money away for 10 years, or you want to put the money away for 2 months? Well, doesn't Mr. Banker, if I put the money away for 10 years, pay me more interest rate? Yeah, except when there's a yield curve inversion. Now, putting the money away for 2 months pays you more money than 10 years. What? Yes, that's when short-term maturities, 2 years, pay you more interest rates than long-term maturities. Makes no sense. That's what happens in a recession. It's called inversion, reversed. Yield curve inversion, the 2-year and the 10-year, not 2 month, but 2-year and the 10-year bonds are very inverted, more so than the start of this week, indication of a recession. Now, let's jump into those earnings numbers. So we knew American Express miss, Verizon miss, Snap. Oh, Snap is a social media technology company. I've been featured on this channel for 2 years. I know people associated with the company, and it's sad. I will be around next year. I do not know Snap will be around. It's just really, really quite sad. I mean, even we have the graphic. I'll pull up the graphic. You remember the graphic. The graphic I show for earnings recession on this channel was made during the second quarter earnings reports. Remember this graphic? I show it all the time. Snap. There you go. So that was the graphic for second quarter. Snap came in third quarter this week. Really missed. I mean, there's questions whether the company is going to survive at this point. Really sad. Let's look at some other companies. Tenet Healthcare. So this is healthcare. Beat or miss? I'd say beat, and I'd be wrong. Tenet was a miss. Down 18% in pre-market trading. This is a weaker outlook. Not particularly clear why. Then we already did Intercontinental, we did Whirlpool, and we did Under Armour. Is there anything else we missed? No, but I want to cut back to Elon Musk, head of Tesla, and of course, with that Twitter debacle at the moment, he is indicating in new comments in the last 24 hours that this recession will continue into 2024. So that's exactly what I had indicated to you in my recordings earlier this year when I said U.S. economy will suffer recession. He says spring of 2024 in his newest comments across the board today. And this, my friends, is why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Let's look at those incredible checks right now. We're going to start first with the federal stimulus checks. Federal because they're from the Congress, from the president, from those people in Washington, D.C. When it's federal, it's every U.S. state and U.S. territory. I don't want to say that. My apologies. U.S. territories as well. And these incredible checks are huge. Nearly 300 checks, $300,000. Let's just do the first 3 checks. And the big second half, promise me, you say the big second half will go over the continuation of those checks thereafter. Let's jump in the first 3 checks. A, B, and C. They're just absolutely incredible. Check A is a $6,500 to $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. How do you get it? Step 1, you go in this video, you become a member. Join LALATE or LA2 or LA3. The membership newsletter delivered to all 3 viewers, channels on all 3 viewers. Become a member, join this channel, and get that incredible newsletter. Go down to check A in the newsletter and apply. So simple. Congratulations, Spelly, who got that incredible check. You do the same thing as well. Join the nearly 100 new members joining every 48 hours on this channel. Then, you're not done there yet. Go get check B. $15,000 to $80,000 of forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. How do you get this? Go under the video, become a member. Join this channel. Now, why would you not become a member? It doesn't particularly make clear sense to me why someone watching this channel would not become a member. Let me give you an example. Here is check B. It costs us a few dollars to become a member. And here's Frank Mancuso out of Florida. Within less than 30 days, 1 month, of spending just a few dollars to become a member, he walked away with thousands, almost $10,000. Happens all the time, almost weekly, if not daily. He got 18 months of mortgages paid, 18 months of utilities paid, and 18 months of high-speed internet. Folks, that's thousands of dollars, almost $10,000. Another viewer out of Florida did the same thing. She got 80 to 100 checks, nearly $100,000. How do you do this? You become a member, then get that membership newsletter, go down to check B in the newsletter, and go get it. So simple. The newsletter is for me to deliver to you all the links to go right in and apply for all these incredible checks. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to search the net. You don't have to spend weeks and weeks of research. Every show I deliver on camera has almost 15 pages of notes in preparation for that broadcast. And that's every broadcast. Imagine how many pages of notes I have on set. Yeah, you don't want to see my set. You don't want to see the notes. I'm swimming in notes. Check C. Incredible. Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. Ling Glenn got this incredible check. What did she get? She recently got 14 months of utilities. Incredible. How do you get check C? You become a member. You go down the membership newsletter, and a check C tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. Now, promise me 2 things. Number 1, promise me you'll stay the big second half, because we're just getting started. We just only done 3 checks. We got 300 checks to go over in this recording, then ISCs and LSCs. Number 2, when you apply for the check Cs, make sure you promise me this, that you reach out to all 12 places in the membership newsletter. I tell you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. 12 places. Why? Because there will be a no, but there'll also be a yes. Let's recap. Check B. Average viewers are getting about 18 months of checks, 5 checks per month, rent, utilities, and 3 in all the utility, mortgage and rent and the utilities. 5 checks a month, 18 months, that's 80 to 100 checks. That's check B. Check C, the same thing. The only difference is they got 12 places to reach out to them. Wow, that's incredible. And you want to do the same thing. Plus, I haven't said this in a while, when you get checks, keep on getting more checks. When you have a success story, post in the live chat. I don't care if it's $200 or $200,000. Inspires other people. Do you want some check C? Here is some check C success stories. $30,000 of rent, go get check C. Again, Lynn Glenn getting 14 months of utilities. Another viewer, 14 months of utilities. 2 viewers, 12 months of rent. Here is Mark, his brother-in-law, getting $16,000 of utilities. Insane. Same brother-in-law, $250,000 from this channel for Snap. Incredible. Nisi from $23,000, she went to $50,000 as a member on this channel. Mark, as a member on this channel, went from $32,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 to $166,000. Lorraine from $105 to $155. You may be just found this channel and you say, wow, what am I watching here? I mean, these numbers are enormous. The reason they're enormous is we've been doing this for a very long time. We've been doing this since December 2020 when there wasn't a lot of money. Now there is a lot of money. And every time that there isn't, I find you more money, and then there's more money again. This is because I've been training viewers to do this for a long time. And one of the most important things I always tell them is do it and keep on doing it. If you get $2,000 today, keep on doing it and get, $10,000 next week, or get $400 tomorrow. Keep on doing it. So go on to this video, subscribe. Go on this video, join the channel, and also go on this video and become a member. In the big second half, we're going to continue because we're just getting started on those FSE checks. Then we go to ISC, inflation relief stimulus checks. And next up, we go to the LSCs. And since this is a Holidays LATE edition, do you see my cast of characters join me in the background? There they are. Do you have names for my my two Dia de los Muertos characters? There they are. Let's go here and there. Not good at pointing reverse on the camera. And then we have our pumpkin guy casting a spell on Mitch. We got a lot coming up on this stimulus in the big second half. Now let's go back into the breaking news across the board. The breaking news across the board is that the markets are suddenly coming around and getting rid of all that horrible nonsense they were playing games with in July. Where are they right today? They're sensible. They're doing exactly what you and I have been saying since July when they were out to left field. They have come to their senses, finally. Number one, they all understand the Federal Reserve is not changing or pivoting or reverting or stopping, whatever verb you want to use, their course of action. The Federal Reserve has indicated they're going to raise interest rates through now all the way into 2024. Wall Street understands that's what was said by the Federal Reserve. Great. Can we breathe a sigh of relief? They finally understand that. Are they ignoring it anymore? I would say in July, it was 90% ignore, 10% listen. I think now it's about 70% listen, 30% ignore. So it's really changed. When I open up the news, I prepare to come on camera. I try to, see how many analysts are out there saying, yeah, but we're hoping that these numbers for these few companies that missed indicate the Federal Reserve may stop their move and stop their interest rate spike. It's sort of like I wish, I hope, I think that the Federal Reserve will stop based upon these companies missing in corporate earnings. How much of that type of talk is happening? A lot less, a huge amount less. I mean, it was about 70% of the market just in July. Now it's down to about 30%. They stopped that silliness. It really was ridiculous. It's shameful talk. Federal Reserve, their purpose is to tell you what they're going to do, to give stability to the markets. The Federal Reserve's policy is not to surprise you. So they tell you ahead of time, not a few days ahead of time, months ahead of time. So why would you not listen to what they say? That's number one. Number two, using that data of the Federal Reserve, how much in tune is the markets to their analysis, stocks and bonds? I'll have that answer for you in the big second half. Plus, in the big second half, I will go over with you, when do you believe that Americans will realize that they are in financial trouble? When will that hurt of the recession really impact them? What month? Jump in live chat right now. Write the month of hurt, comma, your state in the live chat. I'll answer your questions in the big second half. We got a lot coming up in today's show. Plus, we'll be continuing with this incredible stimulus, the ones sent out by Congress and this guy, your president. All the incredible great news, all the incredible stimulus, all the incredible deliciousness continues in the big second half. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as Afternoons LATE Holidays Edition continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues in the big second half on the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It was really quite hot here yesterday, hideously hot, almost in the 90s. It's cooling down a little bit, but it's expected to be much cooler by tonight and tomorrow. Thank goodness. The breaking news continues right now. Your economy, your recession, your inflation, your benefit raise, everything that and more, plus the housing market, the unemployment, and your forced stimulus heats up the big breaking news second half of Holidays LALATE. How are you? Hope you're good and great. Thank you for joining me on a big second half. We have a huge big second half today. I'm so excited for you joining me across the board. FSC, federal stimulus checks, $300,000, 300 checks, the first three A, B, and C passed by the President of the United States by executive action in the month of March, then supplemented by E through K, passed by Congress thereafter. Incredible bill. And E has a big new update today. Let's jump into the continuation of those FSE checks right now. E, $7,500. Wow. E, we now learn that you really want to get it in a way in which a particular year you can get the whole amount. Otherwise, if you get a part of the amount, you can't get the remainder of it in another year. F, $4,000. That's great. Then we have incredible check. G, 30% off. H, $2,000. Wow. Incredible. I, $8,000. Huge. J, $8,000. Oh my goodness. K, $14,000. That is absolutely incredible. We're not done there yet, because after those checks, we have more of these incredible FSCs. We have check L, $100,000 of loan interest-free money. Incredible. M, $4,000. Just incredible. Then we continue with stimuluses. And one of my favorite, it's $100 towards a free brand new computer or tablet. Just incredible. Then we have O, zero down payment, zero closing costs for a brand new home. And then we have P, 30% down for an existing home refi. And Q, $8,000. There you go. Those incredible FSC checks. So let's recap. FSC, federal stimulus checks, federal government, Congress, President of the United States. Every USA, because it's from the federal government. They send it out, they administer it, it's their checkbook, has nothing to do with your states. Largest check, $100,000. Smallest check, $8,000. Fastest routing time, about 2 days. Johnny started on Monday, he got $45,000 by Wednesday. Congratulations, Johnny. By Friday, he had $85,000 from 17 applications he put in. 15 applications he put in, and 7 or 8 of them approved. He continued the next week, happened his mom and dad each get $50,000 a pop, and then his friends and neighbors, nearly 20 of them over the next month, got them $250,000. These FSC checks, we got the car in there, check for the car, home repairs, home appliances like a refrigerator or furnace. We got rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. We have a computer, tablet, and it's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. How do you get this? You become a member. You go right in this video, join the channel. Then get that membership newsletter. Yesterday, I started something new on this channel. I can continue today. I like it. It's called Timeline Check. It sounds like we're in some time travel show. time zone check. Jump at the live chat and write the time zone name you're in, comma, your state. I will start first. PST, Pacific Standard Time, comma, California. I'm here in Los Angeles, and that's West Coast time, which is called Pacific Standard Time. It's important for you to know this, because if you don't, you need to look it up. But I'll tell you the answers right now if you can remember where you are. If you're on the East Coast, which is New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Florida, your Eastern Standard Time, EST. Next, if you are In Missouri or Illinois, your Central Standard Time, CT or CST. Then if you're Mountain, like Arizona, your MT. So let's go over the importance of knowing where you are. It's the newsletter. The newsletter is delivered from me to you via YouTube alerts Monday through Friday. Here we go. Pause. 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, New York, New Jersey. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Central Standard Time, Missouri, Illinois. 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, Mountain, Arizona, is a beautiful 8 o'clock Central Mountain Standard Time. There you go. So congratulations to everyone who got their time zone check correct today, and we'll be doing that tomorrow as well. Next, it's important that you make sure you go to the Funds channel. There's a little bell. Hit that bell to make sure all notifications are set to all on, because you want to get a notification when that newsletter comes out. Number 3, go down the newsletter, apply for the check. Go down the newsletter, apply for the check. It's so simple. You don't want to wait. You don't want to wait for this incredible money. Let's jump over to inflation relief stimulus checks. These aren't from Congress, but these are from your wonderful states, ISCs. Now, let me make something clear. Most local news channels don't do a good job on what they're doing. They don't have a very big budget, these local news stations, so they don't do good news reporting. They will not cover these checks for you because it's not something that draws their ratings. They don't have a big budget for newsrooms. So they don't cover this type of stuff. This is why LA covers it. Inflation relief stimulus checks, ISCs. Average check, $1,000. Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Most states have it. You need to have a tax return, federal tax return, generally on file. You can do that at irs.gov for free. Electronically send it in. Takes all a few seconds. And where are these incredible ISC checks? In the newsletter at Check D. Go down to Check D. It opens a brand new link. Then at Check D, it lists the state, the amount of the check, and then the website on the state to track about that incredible check. Now, you want to start with FSC checks because they're hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't want to start with an ISC check because it's only $1,000. What's $1,000? That's not going to pay your bills for more than, a certain period of time. You want to get these, you want to know about the ISCs, but you don't want to track them. You want to pounce for your FSC checks first. Obviously, you go for big money first. Next, lifetime stimulus checks, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Now, people have not been explaining to Americans this story at all correctly, telling you basically a part of a story that's actually much better than it is. So let me explain to you the complete story right now, and I'm going to use an analogy. A skyscraper with an elevator. Let's put ourselves back on the first floor, and first floor is last year. Last year, you got a benefit raise of 5.9%, so you went from the first floor to the second floor. There you go. You now know your next benefit raise is 8.7% for next year. That's bringing you to the second floor. It's important to understand that it's 8.7% on top of 5.9%. Most people are not explaining that to you. So it's on top of the already big lift you already had from last year. Second floor next year. The year after that, third floor. And the year after that, fourth floor. Why? Because Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell said there will be inflation around next year, third floor, and the year after that, fourth floor. So you'll keep on getting raises on top of your raises. Yes, it's cumulative. Yes, it's that great. It gets better. You're going from the first floor to the fourth floor. But what's happening to the milk and eggs and the products you buy in your stores between the first year and the fourth year? They're going in prices from their fourth floor down to the basement because the price of goods will fall by next year, year 2, the year after that, year 3, and by year 4, inflation's going to be gone. And yet you will be on the fourth floor of money coming in, and the products you're buying will be the cheapest of the 4 years at the fourth year when those prices, those goods are in the basement. That's how your life is going to be absolutely incredible as part of this Purple Power community. Let's say this again. You're going to go up, 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 up in the elevator as your benefits are raised over 4 years, but the products are going to go down, 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 down as inflation drops over 4 years. So by the end of the fourth year, where are you? You're on the fourth floor. And you're never going to go lower because once your benefits go up, you're never going to go down. You're never going to be below the fourth floor ever again. But the products you're buying will be cheaper every year thereafter And so you'll have more money in your wallet. It's incredible. No one explains this to you. And it's a critical part of the equation. Next, the medical bills, which I think you sort of know, but let me just recap it. Your Medicare Plan B will no longer consume a great majority of your benefits check anymore because they passed a bill from Congress over the summer that your Medicare Plan B bills will be premiums will be cheaper. That's absolutely incredible. We have that LALATE newsletter, and in the newsletter we have the worksheets. It's down around the third line. I don't record about the worksheets every day. It's usually on the evening show. But in there's a page to keep track of how much your benefits are going up. If you have a online access to your Social Security website, you have probably gotten alerts since last Sunday that said, hi, you can sign into your account to see exactly the amount of your check next year. Remember, that's next year. The year after that, you're getting another raise as well. Incredible, great news. And with that, let's continue with the big details on this holidays edition of Afternoons LA, starting right now. Where is this market going, and how is it heading there, and what is the reality check about the situation? I first want to start with the housing market, because this started yesterday, Thursday, October 20th, and the data on the housing market I found fascinating. I really found this data-driven fascinating. I've never seen something so interesting in my life. To understand how fascinating this is, let's take it back 10 years ago. In the last recession, this is what happened with the housing market collapsing. A person had a house, they put it on the market to sell, it didn't sell, so they had to cut the price of the home. While they were cutting the price of the home to try to sell it, the neighbor put their house on the market to sell, and that didn't sell. And suddenly it continued to grow, and it went from one house for sale to 300 houses for sale. And finally, some people couldn't sell. They went into foreclosure. That's what the last housing market happened. Inventory grew. People couldn't sell. Foreclosures. Banks took on the homes, and some of the banks actually went under. This may be totally different. And we first learned this yesterday. It's very fascinating. I'm going to go through this slowly because it takes me even a little bit of time to think it through. This is what's going on. You own a home, and you want to sell the home. You didn't buy the home yesterday. You bought the home maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago. And here's the part of the equation which is really important. You have a really cheap mortgage. You have a 3% mortgage. People now are looking at their mortgage saying, wow, thank goodness I have a 3% mortgage. I love my 3% mortgage. You see what the mortgages are out there now, Johnny and Lorraine and my neighbors? It's 7%. No, I don't want a house at 7% mortgage. So the people who are thinking to sell or started to sell are saying, you know what, maybe I won't sell because I cannot afford to buy another home because the new home will have a 7% mortgage. Let me make this more obvious. You can't take your mortgage with you from one home to another home. So if you're in a home right now, living in a home with a 3% mortgage, you don't want to sell the home because when you go to buy another home, it's going to have a whopping 7% mortgage you can't afford. So you say, oh, maybe I won't sell. Maybe I won't sell. I don't really have to sell. I don't think the value of my house is going to go down too much, even recession. Maybe I'll just stay here because I can't afford to move. What's the result of that? Totally different than last recession. Inventory will not build up because people are not putting the homes on the market because they cannot move. They can't afford to move. So that means this housing market crash is going to look totally different. How's it going to end? I don't know if I know the answer yet. Do you know the answer? Jump in the live chat. Maybe you know the answer. Maybe you can figure this out. Because of the inventory doesn't build up, but the price of the homes will drop because they're not selling. Existing home sales are down, new home starts are down, and mortgages are down. I mean, my jugular reaction, without thinking this through yet, is that the market will not collapse because of too much inventory, because there won't be too much inventory, but the prices of the homes in the market will fall because they won't move, they won't sell because people cannot afford a 7% mortgage. Wow, what a confusing housing market this will be. And that's why you watch this channel. Meantime, the 2-year bond, I really believe that's going to 5%. And I said by December, maybe it'll be by the weekend. The 30-year fixed mortgage, 7%. Maybe we're already there by tonight. Cryptocurrency. I got to tell you, it's held up relatively well. we're not seeing a 17,000 Bitcoin. We're not seeing a $900 Ethereum. We're not seeing a 50-cent Decentraland. It's holding up relatively well. It fell, and yeah, it's going down 2%, 3% a day. But I got to tell you, I find it very fascinating. Do you want some crypto shows back on this channel? I do. So I think they're going to come back on in late November. I think it's time to bring the crypto shows back on this channel because I think it's stabilized. Now, stabilized means you can't really trade it because if it's flat today and it's flat tomorrow, flat the day after, you can't really make money on trading it. But there may be some slight volatility as we get closer to December that has some opportunity for you to make money. I'll cover it all. If you want those shows back on this channel, jump on the live chat, send me a private message. Meantime, the market, yes, I agree. The market will rally in December, stocks, but in January, the other way. That's why you got to get these incredible force stimulus checks. Welcome to all the wonderful new members of this channel. Love you to death. Welcome. If you have not become a member, become it right today. Go into this video, join this channel. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Become part of the incredible Purple Power community today. Whether it's housing, whether it's economy, whether it is the recession, whether it's the Federal Reserve, there's a lot to know. And I always have it for you across the board. Thank you for joining me on a big show. I'll see you tonight on Evenings LALATE from the shores of Santa Monica, California at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That is 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.